Hey everyone, rainy day in Shadowfen. We're going to be looking for the time breaches here. One here, and one here. The right medic for the job. They said the work would be hard, but Husmahim did not expect it to be so backbreaking. To be paid, Husmahim needed to fill 8 baskets a day, but his tools were crude. Small mattocks are not made for clawed hands, not when they formed from the only tools available. Rust-colored liquid seeped from the piles of slag, staining everyone's scales a dusky orange. Husmahim crawled forward a few feet, dragging his baskets behind him so he could pull apart a new section of earth and rock. The miners tapped apart rocks and sifted through the mud for the rich variety of reagents found in these oozing mounds. The miner beside him said, "Finished my 8th basket. You?" "Almost done with 7, Husmahim replied. "You're always done first, Split Tail. What's your secret?" "Hard work," said Split Tail with a grin. "Also, I made enough to buy a bigger mattock." "Cheater," said Husmahim with a good-natured chuckle. "I'm heading out now." A cascade of dry earth slid down the terraced wall toward them. The miners, used to these collapses, grabbed their workloads and quickly moved away. "There!" someone yelled. Husmahim and Split Tail, still beside each other, looked at the slope above them. Though dust rose from the slithering scree, they could see shapes hurtling toward them, leaning back on their heels, arms outstretched for balance. "Ogres! Tell the—" A blow silenced Split Tail, knocking him to the ground. A dozen ogres attacked the unarmed miners, wielding nothing more powerful than their beefy fists. Husmahim ducked a right hook, still clutching a basket to his chest. He had to get to the village and warn people. Ogres hadn't been seen near the mines in at least 12 months. He scrambled forward. Realizing he still held a basket, he flung it away so he could use both hands. A brute, stronger than Husmahim, grabbed his tail and pulled him backwards, and then it let out a scream of rage and pain as Split Tail swung his proper-sized mattock into the ogre's hand. "Run!" Split Tail cried.
Here we go!
Weirdly, that dreg was not aggressive. Don't know why. Yeah, these guys aren't aggressive. Okay. Don't need to kill them.
Building up a stash. Good thinking.
What's keeping that idiot? He should be back by now.
Broken Tusk ritual notes. Light the candle, douse the flame, say the words, hold on to pain. Do not fear, soon he'll be here. He will be here.
Yeah, there's a breach here somewhere. And something's eating it? I certainly wouldn't recommend that, unless you're really anxious to get sucked through your own belly button.
Particularly, I'm adventurous, but that does sound like an adventure I do not wish to experience.
Counter this!
Sep's kiss. Using a poison known by name only elicits suspicion. Truly perfect assassination is one that remains undetected. I would not dare brag of those slain by my concoctions for fear of breaking the tender illusion of natural death. I've penned down one of my favorite mixtures, and hope the reader will seek out more on their own. The preparation is unorthodox, yet it has served me well. I learned the name Sep from a sweet, red-gard lass I courted for a time. She was unfaithful, but her kiss still filled me with delight. Prepare a fire, burned down to coals. Atop that place a large cauldron. This will be your crucible. Add to this a drop of your own blood. It will sizzle when the pot is tempered. You only need the residue of blood for flavor and scent. Scrape the salt from a mangrove leaf. Powder it with the spores from a yellow night mushroom. You can find these growing in most any field if you lie down with your face to the soil. While the crucible is still hot, pour a decanter of treacle tea in, letting the steam escape. In a short time it will reduce, and to that sticky mess you will add the aforementioned powder. Once all ingredients are combined, it's ready to use. On the skin, it breaks down strength in a matter of hours. For a faster reaction, ingestion or wounding is best. I've yet to calculate an antidote for this recipe, so I advise using the utmost caution while handling.
Manimarco was a pawn. You are another. Come, let's play.
Enjoy your last moments. Or don't. I don't care.
The plan is in place. You are but an inconvenience.
Okay, we are here. I think the next... Yeah, they put like 6 of them in this one zone up here.
Spare a coin for the needy.
Ready to ride.
When are the guards going to do something about our missing people?
I assure you, we're doing everything we can. We're stretched.
Easy, Siphonix, easy.
Breach around here somewhere. Oh, and by the way, Kellerus has no idea what he's doing with that staff. Ah well, dragon breaks aren't so bad. I'm joking. They're horrific, mate.
High Rock and Hammerfell.
Hmm. Not quite sure how I get back there, but...
Watch it.
Give a girl a hand.
Better overstocked than under.
A dwarf hole. What a silly bunch they were, always whacking sprockets with their little baby hammers, toiling away on their tiny brass xylophones. Good riddance, eh?
Oh yeah, the mountainous areas in Deshaun are a royal pain in the ass. I'm gonna try taking the road.
Such terrible slaughter.
You could craft something nice with that.
My sister sneaks off into the ruins, and I wind up getting hurt. How typical.
Always worth stocking up. Is it always this crowded?
Hold! Speak to me before entering my
I've been
lord's
waiting for
system.
this my entire life.
Me too, Lee. I want to learn how to unleash my inner powers.
Breach ahead. Say, what is it with you bipeds and waterfalls? A deluge of happy water spirits cast to their doom, smashed to bits on the sullen rocks below? Hardly a recipe for romance, mate.
No. Yep. Death on the rocks below. But it was the fastest way. Usually if you land in water, you're okay, but I missed. I missed the water in a waterfall. Okay.
I'm with
I
you.
missed one somewhere. We'll figure it out.
Rocks, water, more rocks. Wait! That's it! Breach nearby, mate! Sorry, just got distracted by all the behemoth mine snails. It's too bad you can't see them. They're really cute. Sort of.
Useful. Hold on to that.
Yeah, I see this one. I'm missing one somewhere. Alright, let's go pick that one up and then figure it out. It's gotta be in this zone somewhere, right?
There's a breach here somewhere. Plenty of elf ghosts, too. Ugh, they won't stop shrieking about... It's either dying or pieing. Pieing's a word, right? To pie? Odd thing to get upset about.
You there! Are you the courier from Artisans Craftsworks in Mournhold? Burn!
Alright. Ah. I missed one in Shadowfen. Okay. Got it.
Breaching that Argonian settlement, I think. Ah, I love Argonian architecture. Who needs nails and hard angles? Just pile up some slop and call it a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, back to Arteum to speak to Josage.
Welcome back, Initiate. No shortage of mud on your feet, I see. Did you manage to seal all the time breaches in the swamp?
Yes.
Well done. With those seals in place, we should have a much better idea of where the remaining staff fragments are hidden. I can't wait to see them.
Wait, I thought Lore Master Kellerus was sealing the fragments away.
That was the plan, yes. But as he may have told you, separating the pieces has proven difficult, even for our most powerful monks. It looks like we'll have to study the staff after all. I'm sure I don't need to tell you how exciting that is.
You think you'll find a way to keep the pieces apart?
Maybe. The leadership seems confident enough. As for me, I'm just happy to have the opportunity to see it. Now, you should probably check in with the Lore Master. With any luck, our scryers have found the remaining fragments already.
Tranquil greetings, Initiate. It seems your efforts in the swamp proved fruitful. Just a short time ago, our scryers located the remaining fragments of the Staff of Towers.
Are you ready for me to set out?
I am. But first, we should take a moment to acknowledge your achievement. A Psijic must never sacrifice the present at the cost of an uncertain future. Take this as a reward, Caraval. I suspect you will find a use for it before long. The time has come, Initiate. We must gather the final fragments of the Staff of Towers. According to our scryer's visions, fragments lay buried near the Brothers of Strife and Stonefalls, the Weeping Giant in Stormhaven, Greenheart and Greenshade, and the Spellscar in Craglorn. Each of these locations hold great orbic significance.
What should I do when I reach these locations?
You will no doubt find more time breaches near these landmarks. Once the augur attunes to them, it should light a path to the hidden artifacts. You must move quickly, Initiate. Only the Psijic Order is prepared to deal with objects this dangerous.
All right.
There was one other thing I wanted to discuss with you, Initiate. It will just take a moment.
Sure, what's on your mind?
Once you recover these remaining fragments, I would like you to bring them to me directly. I know that you and Josaja have grown more familiar, but allowing her to inspect these artifacts without supervision would be most unwise.
You don't trust Josaja with the staff?
You misunderstand. I trust Josaja implicitly, but avoiding temptation is one of the chief pillars of moral action. Her interest in this artifact and its potential applications is not purely academic. I sense a private, sentimental motive.
Something to do with her family woes?
Perceptive. Yes. The matter of her family. It is entirely possible that we have nothing to worry about, but an overabundance of caution is always warranted when it comes to objects of power. Now, I have delayed you long enough. Take care, Initiate.
All right, let's continue with our contract in Kvatch.
Watch your pockets.
Alright, so there isn't a ton of content in the Gold Coast. I'm gonna do stuff to the north. It doesn't even look like there are any quests there, really, just some exploration. And then we'll head to Kvatch. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just pretty to canter around out here. Gives the soul a nice deep breath.
Yeah.
Pretty. Yeah, it's possible that I missed
I've seen this place marked on maps.
Journal.
Never would have sought it out on my
Yeah,
own.
very likely I missed the journal during the quest, so I'm not going to try to hunt that down. Lonely Sentinel achievement.
Always nice to get stocked up.
Solus Vertilus's journal.
You know what that's good for? Ah, you'll figure it out.
Beldeburo is just in sight now. There doesn't appear to be much remaining of the above-ground structure, but alien substructures are known to have endured elsewhere, so I'll hope something remains that hasn't collapsed. A tribe of Minotaurs seems to have taken root at the alien ruin. Less than ideal, but perhaps it's a good sign. Beldeburo can't be in terrible shape if the Minotaurs camp there. This spyglass was a good investment. I've been keeping watch on the Minotaurs from a safe distance for a few days now. I hoped that they were simply using it as a stopover on some migratory journey, but it seems they've made the location their home. I thought I saw light from the ruins today. Not torchlight, something more radiant and steady. Some lingering alien magic. Something the Minotaurs are doing. I've come to the conclusion that these Minotaurs haven't delved further than the exterior of Beldeburo. They don't appear to be attempting to expand it into the ruins at all, so what has drawn them to this place? I would have assumed that the Minotaurs tend to congregate around alien ruins out of a need for shelter, but that doesn't seem to be the case. What if the Minotaurs are drawn to these places on some instinctual level? Is there some throwback echo of memory from Mora House's blood fueling their desire to linger in these places? The Minotaurs have stepped away from the ruins this morning. I think they're hunting. I'm going to see if I was right about there being more to this ruin than just a few visible tumbled stones. The light! It has a shape to it. That of a man or mer, but it slipped past the door before I could get a good look. I've yet to discern a means of opening the doorway thus far. I hope to figure it out before the Minotaurs return from their hunt.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Pantos Epilon's journal. Entry 42. I thought the Anvil Mages Guild would require no effort to join. The town is run by pirates, even though the Magister insists I show a rigorous mind, whatever that means. Entry 43. I thought the Magister was being literal, so I delivered a fresh Minotaur brain to the guild hall. I'm no fool. I thought to wrap it in 3 layers of waxed paper. I don't see why it caused such a fuss. Entry 44. Finally, a breakthrough. The Magister has no practical knowledge of the drag, which means I have the least to prove on the topic. Simple report on claw variations should suffice. Entry 45. Magister realized I have no practical knowledge of the drag either. I now have a book about drag mating practices and a directive. Find an alchemical use for Grom. What in oblivion is Grom? Oh, I know. I was in the year books. It's like their own external skin that they eat and like vomit up into a ball or something like that. Oh, they do explain. Entry 46. I read the book. Grom is the shell of a drag which is eaten and then regurgitated after mating. Fibrous balls, according to the book. Foul smelling. There are no known uses for Grom, alchemical or otherwise. I'm beginning to think the Magister doesn't like me much. Entry 47. I've made camp at a drag mating ground on the coast north of Anvil. Creatures are docile unless provoked, which allows me to observe them and collect as much Grom as I need. Joyous day. Entry 48. I thought I knew tedium. Now my life consists of waiting for drag to mate. Entry 47. Spotted my first ball of Grom. This is what passes for excitement now. Entry 50. The old book wasn't lying. There's no alchemical use for Grom unless it's ruin a variety of expensive alchemical ingredients or permanently stain mortar and pestle. But I won't let the Magister show me up. Entry 51. I can confirm Grom is inedible. Boiling just makes the smell worse. Entry 52. Boiling was the key. As it cooled, the fibrous pulp hardened into the same shell. I realized in this state I could form and shape the pulp. I was able to fashion a simple potion flask that looked like a stopper well. That took a stopper well. Potion flasks that won't smash if you drop them. There's your alchemical application, Magister. Of course, run out of Grom. In order to reproduce my results, I need more drag to reproduce. Entry 53. More tedium. Why can't the drag mate faster? Entry 54. I can make the drag mate faster. While dumping an alchemical concoction into the sea, a nearby drag seemed to perk up and rub its claws together. It immediately sought out another drag and paced about, circling it. More activity than I've seen yet from these creatures. I'll cook up another batch and sprinkle it along the beach tonight. Entry 55. The dregs seem agitated. Now they're all pacing, but the mating still isn't happening any faster. Tonight I'll increase the batch's potency by a factor of 8. If that doesn't get them over their lethargy, I don't know what will.
Good to get stocked up.
Yeah!
Knight's Grave, legend or legacy? Knight's Grave, Legend or Legacy by Chanter Wabilen, Cathedral Historian. What do the ruins of Knight's Grave represent? And why are they important to the Cathedral of Akatosh and the Order of the Hour? Those are questions that the common person never asks, but that every one of the devoted should know the answer. Most consider Knight's Grave to be some sort of ruined graveyard, a memory of a time when the Empire was strong and eternal. Few realize that the graveyard came later. The true meaning of the site waits in the depths below. In the beginning, the massive subterranean structure served as the original headquarters of the Order of the Hour. It was Emron Dekan, founder of the Order, who raised the stones of the headquarters. Legends claim the site was always important to those who worshipped the dragon god, but I have located no records that indicate why this may be the case. Know that the Order established chambers for training and meditation, places for prayer and contemplation, and even areas where the members of the Orders could rest and relax. With the death of Enon and the original group of companions, great statues were raised in memory of the founders. The Order would continue operating out of this location for nearly 100 years. During this period, more chambers were carved out and more improvements were made to the headquarters. As the first phase of the Order came to a close and the organization disbanded, the place was locked up and turned over to the Cathedral of Kvatch for safekeeping. The cathedral, however, didn't know what to do with the facility, so the chanters and sermonizers decided to turn the subterranean structure into a crypt of sorts. All of the honored dead of the Order of the Hour were interred within its depths. When Kabor Marula re-established the Order, one of his first tasks was to dedicate the site that had become known as Knight's Grave to the memory of the Order's founding members. Blessings and rituals were performed, giving substance to the exalted dead that lingered in the place's shadowy interior. Not wanting to disturb those resting herein, Kabor instead set out to build the Enclave of the Hourglass as the Order's new home on the Gold Coast. So, forget the legends. Ignore the tales of Nixad infestation, Minotaur protectors, and exalted knights of the Order still patrolling the sealed chambers deep below. Knight's Grave is the proud and vibrant legacy of the Order of the Hour, and as followers of Kvatch, it is our legacy as well.
Nocturnal's breath!
That was your last mistake!
Oh, I'm sure I'll make a lot more mistakes.
Useful. Hold on to that.
Crafting set made here. Colovian Revolt Forge Yard. Let's see. Helenal's Wrath. Oh, weapon and spell damage, offensive penetration. Whenever you kill an enemy, you gain a damage shield that absorbs 20,000 damage for 10 seconds. And add a stack of Wrath of Whitestrike for 10 seconds. Each stack of Wrath of Whitestrike grants you 2 weapon and spell damage. It causes you to take 210 Oblivion damage every second, up to 10 stacks. The damage shield scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage, and the damage scales off your max health. Weird. Nice damage shield, but very strange. I kinda doubt that I can kill a world boss out here. Let's find out. Won't be the last mistake I make. Told you I would make more mistakes.
How'd you get so lucky?
Oh. Okay.
Been on the lookout for that.
Tribune's Folly. Okay. So maybe the boss is underground.
The memories are all I have left. You will not rob me of them! Die,
Boy.
intruders.
Ooh.
Move to flank!
Nothing is beyond my control in this place.
Oh, this is
Not
Lord
man,
Valeria.
nor beast.
Alright. Yeah, we read about them. They're underground. Necromantic hideaway. Where he kept his wife and his children until his wife died. Buried his children here. Oh, Sharp's dead. Okay. Oh, nope.
If you don't get up, I'm taking your stuff.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's likely that I'm going to be able to do that solo. Oh, yeah, that... I was just trying to leave. You know what? I'm going to try killing you again, just so I can resurrect at a way shrine, if it happens. I have to make sure I heal Sharp. But yeah, he's not staying on the tank.
Beast, become the avatar of my
Come on, Sharp, where are you? I can't even see you, man. Oh, you're dead. We're dead. Okay, that's too much for a caster. Yep. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna head up to the Gold Coast and pick up quests in Kvatch. One of my favorite quests of all time resides in Kvatch.
This is taking forever.
So I'm gonna see if I can find it.
must be some way to convince her. Stubborn girl.
We don't talk about the arena, though sometimes I'll take in a bout or two. It's terrible to watch, with the blood and the broken bones, but it's also kind of exciting. I suppose it can't be all bad if the Count and Primate allow it to remain open.
I'm gonna repair my gear.
Yes, I like it.
Great Cathedral closed. By order of Artorius Ponticus, Primate of Great Akatosh, let it be known that public access to the Grand Cathedral of
Good
Akatosh
thinking.
will be denied
Let's
while
thaw
work crews
out a little
conduct
before we
maintenance
get moving
and
again.
renovations to the aging stonework and creaking floorboards of our magnificent house of worship. This does not, however, mean that worship discontinues within the holy city of Kvatch. Our diligent chanters and sermonizers will walk among you, spreading the word and will of Akatosh and the other divines. Just as the loyal swords of the Order of the Hour defend our hearths and homes, let the words of the chanters and sermonizers shore up your spirits and fill you with the truth of the Dragon God of Time. The Society of the Dragon. Want to show your love and faith for Akatosh, the Dragon God of Time, but you're not ready to devote yourself to the Akatosh priesthood? The Cathedral of Kvatch understands. That's why we've established the Society of the Dragon. Led by the Grand Chanter Surus and a select few Akatosh priests, the Society welcomes initiates into its ranks for fellowship, learning, and to discuss the most pressing theological questions of the day. Come join the Society. Help us make Kvatch a better place through prayer, faith, and your devotion to Akatosh. All serious inquiries accepted. We have a place for you as part of the Society. Crafty Larissa!
Isn't that funny? I was just thinking about you. What brings you to this pious city? No, wait, don't answer that. I don't think I want to know. On the other hand, if you're interested in a little mischief, I could really use your help.
So she was one of the pirates on Stros Makai. What do you have in mind?
Oh, just discrediting Grand Chanter Surus and his Society of the Dragon. They claim to be a religious order, but they're nothing more than a cult that loves Akatosh a bit too much. And anyone who questions their faith tends to disappear.
Why do you care about a cult?
I didn't until my sister Jocelyn joined them. She has no idea what Surus does to people. Take these notes and preach the word of Boethia around town.
Ew.
After the Grand Chanter arrests you for heresy, my sister will see how he treats you and leave.
If you think that'll help, I'll go spread a little heresy around town.
Just like old times. After this, first drink's on me. Now go and spread Boethia's word to the cult's initiates. Once they detain you, we'll show my sister exactly how Surus treats those who disagree with him. Just don't disappear along the way.
How will me getting detained convince your sister to leave this Society of the Dragon?
Grand Chanter Surus isn't your typical Akatosh priest. He enjoys filling impressionable heads with religious nonsense, and he has a violent streak as long as Varen's wall. Rumors say that if he can't fill your head, he'll remove it. Literally.
Do you have a plan for how I escape after getting detained?
A plan? Yes, I have a plan. But let's not spoil the surprise. Just be ready for my signal and follow my lead. Now get out there and spread some heresy. I can't wait to see how the Society initiates Squirm.
How did your sister come to join an Akatosh cult?
Who knows why a young woman in the prime of her life would throw away everything to take up with a bunch of religious fanatics. I suppose it had something to do with that job that went sideways when I had to kill Jocelyn's best friend.
You killed your sister's best friend?
I'm afraid I had no choice. A rival of mine hired him to kill us when we attended a meeting. I learned his true intentions too late to decline the invitation. I never let my enemies make the first move, so I ended him before he could end us.
So she left you and joined the cult?
Jocelyn was mad at me, mad at him, mad at life in general. She decided that piracy wasn't for her. She wanted to serve a higher purpose. Unfortunately, this particular higher purpose is worse than piracy. It hides its killing behind religion.
Tell me more about Grand Chanter Surus and the Society of the Dragon.
Grand Chanter Surus is a high-ranking priest in the cathedral, second only to Primate Artorius himself. He started the society for religious types who aren't ready to join the priesthood. They claim to be devoted to Akatosh and his teachings.
And this is a bad thing?
Only if you believe Akatosh requires the beheading of people the Grand Chanter doesn't like. When my sister refuses an order, I'd rather not have her head on the chopping block. Nothing against religion, but this cult isn't right for my sister.
And that's it?
Well, members that join the society are cut off from their friends and family, and anyone that tries to quit disappears. No one knows what happens to them, by the way. Oh, and I did mention the secret beheadings, didn't I?
I think there was another book.
What can I help you with?
What do you want?
I don't see that I can get to it.
What is it?
See if it's outside. There we go. Saga of Captain Wereshark, Part 7. The Pyandonia expedition continued. The sudden charge of a tribe of blood-crazed Nord axe-swingers and a horde of trident-swingered lizard bulls must have rattled the sea elf captain, for he shouted a panicked cry to his bowmen. They foolishly turned their arrows on the enraged beasts. Futile attacks only enraged the lizard bulls all the more, and in the commotion the Wereshark shouted Stendar's blood. As one, we charged into battle. The enraged lizard bulls fell upon the frightened sea elves, ripping them apart or tossing them into the trees. By the time the sea elves rallied, forming a phalanx of shields and casting lightning and storms, Mighty Flicka and the rest were past them, meeting us at the shore. The Wereshark had reclaimed his weapons by then, and those sea elves too slow to flee fell as we freed our compatriots from bondage. Caught between a crowd of the most ruthless buccaneers to ever raise a sail, and a herd of enraged lizard bulls, even the cluster of sea elves wilted like a moon blossom in Sentinel's heat. Eventually, the surviving Maumur scattered, fled into the woods, chased by most of the lizard bulls. With Neramo and Vimy to show the others how it was done, we took down what few lizard bulls challenged us. After quickly looting every valuable we could from the elf corpses, we survivors rushed into our boats and pushed out into the open sea. All of us kept wary eyes on the anchored sea elf galleon floating beyond the pale spirit. New fog rolled in behind us, and I'll never forget the tortured cries of those sea elves as the lizard bulls chased them down and gored them. Despite their barbarous ways, I almost pitied the poor bastards as the island's terrifying inhabitants slaughtered them to the last. Captain Wereshark now wore the golden-armored leader's helmet on his own head, but that was more of a mocking joke than a permanent adjustment, as if the Wereshark would ever truly doff his ever-changing tangle of marvelous colored feathers. How then would people recognize him?
Are the worst of all.
They're children compared to Akatosh.
As we rode, the sea elves screamed. We waited for lightning or storms or another sea serpent attack, but we reached the pale spirit and climbed aboard as the surviving crew of the Silver Arrow did the same. We set sail, but the sea elf warship stayed where it was anchored. I knew then that the fool of a sea elf captain had not left enough sailors on board to sail his warship home. On another day we might have seized her, but we had neither the necessary crew to sail her nor a benefactor who would buy her. I watched the fog swallow that sea elf warship and the island of enraged lizard bulls. The screams persisted long after both had vanished from view, but soon there was no sound but the gentle lapping of the sea and the flapping of the pale spirit's mighty sails. We sailed with the Silver Arrow all through the night, in case there were more sea elf warships in search of the first, but no others challenged us. The fog burned off with the new day to reveal another island far more promising than the last. As we slid forward and sailors readied weapons, we could see the glistening spires of Sea Elf architecture and, more importantly, no visible Sea Elf soldiers guarding her shores. This was likely another fishing village, so remote none expected attack. Our haul from this raid would be massive. With a twinkle in his eye and his feathers flapping in the wind, Captain Wereshark ordered the attack.
These villains are cowards, hiding in the shadows.
Merchandise.
Do not despair. Akatosh watches over us always. Lift your weary head and give praise.
Boethia cares for those whose hearts are full of purpose and whose lives are full of deeds.
Those who treat murder
How
as
dare you
business
utter
are
such
the
blasphemy
worst
in
of
this
all.
holy city? The Grand Chanter shall hear of this.
Hear me, faithful of Akatosh. I speak of the foul followers of Sithis. The Dark Brotherhood. Cowards
Murder
and
is a
skeever
filthy
lovers.
business
The lot
in
of
the
them.
eyes of Akatosh.
Ooh, I'm never getting out of here, am I? And thus, our heroine died.
Quality wares.
Worship of the Dragon God. Lord Akatosh, lend us your might. Lord Akatosh, grant us your light. Popular prayer to Akatosh the Dragon God. If there's a single divine who holds dominion over the Gold Coast, it has to be Akatosh, the Dragon God of Time. From the grand cathedral of Akatosh and Kvatch and radiating outward, the word of Akatosh and his servants spread the light and the truth of the Dragon God in all directions. Reputed to be the first and greatest of the 8 divines, and the first of the gods to form in the beginning place, Akatosh watches over the land and its people with a singular ferocity, never shirking his role as the god defender of the Empire, even while the Empire lies broken and shattered. As the primate of Kvatch likes to say at every opportunity, the Dragon God sees beyond the concerns of the day and contemplates the entire expanse of time. The current situation is merely a minor disturbance in the flow of events, and Akatosh has everything well in hand. Akatosh promotes 3 key qualities in his sphere: endurance, invincibility, and everlasting legitimacy. Perhaps that's why the Empire was so quick to embrace the Dragon God and his tenets. In the words of the primate of Kvatch, here are the ways in which Akatosh embodies the 3 key qualities. Endurance. This quality represents Akatosh's ability and strength to continue or last, and is directly tied to his role as the god of time. Akatosh endures, and so do the true believers who have accepted his words and devoted themselves to his teachings. Despite fatigue, regardless of stress or adverse conditions, Akatosh and his followers carry on. This is the Dragon God's lasting quality. Invincibility. Akatosh cannot be conquered, defeated, or subdued. and neither can those who believe in and honor the dragon god. This is the dragon god's indomitable quality. Everlasting legitimacy. This quality must be examined in all its parts. It represents not only Akatosh's eternal aspect, but his reverence for law, reason, and the ruling principles of hereditary right. Nothing blessed and sanctioned by Akatosh can be considered spurious or unjustified. This is the dragon god's continuing and lawful quality. Beyond these basic tenets, Primate of Kvatch and his priests preach the 5 commands of Akatosh to faithful and faithless alike. Serve and obey your emperor. Since its inception, the Empire and Akatosh worship have gone hand in hand, as this command clearly exemplifies. Study the covenants. These written agreements between Akatosh and his mortal followers, such as Alessia and her descendants, serve as token of their joined blood and pledged faith. All followers are urged to read and understand these eternal contracts. Worship the 8. Akatosh is not a jealous god. He expects his followers to pay tribute not just to himself, but to his fellow divines. Do your duty. Duty and responsibility figure prominently in the teachings of the rule-loving dragon god. Failure to fulfill your obligations is a sin in the eyes of Akatosh. Heed the commandments of the saints and priests. Akatosh favors hierarchy and structure, so it comes as no surprise that he demands that his followers comply with the orders of the saints and priests. The Primate of Kvatch often declares, "As Akatosh wills it, so shall it be." For the dragon god of time embodies yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and he embraces the rules that keeps the world ordered and precise. By honoring Akatosh with devotion and worship, his followers endeavor to do the same. Okay. Looks like I have to break in to insult someone.
Finest merchandise around.
Interesting. Alright, I'll try the other side.
May Akatosh and the Divine smile upon you this day and all the days to come. If you're interested, I can tell you all about the Society of the Dragon.
Boethia proclaims that only fools and worse than fools pray to the divines.
How can you say such things? You monster!
Do not fear the Dark Brotherhood. They are children compared to Akatosh. There's a hidden evil corrupting Kvatch.
Work is never done.
How is it hidden if you're talking about it all the time?
The guard certainly needs more recruits. But who thought that Martin Dachu would make a good soldier?
Cathedral Hierarchy. Primer for Novitiates by Chenter Amiel. Novitiates, allow me to once again welcome you to your new role in the service of Akatosh, the dragon god of time. You begin upon a journey of great importance and spiritual reward, but you're not the first to tread this path, nor will you be the last. Many share this journey and will tackle the same challenges that stand before you. While your path may not lead to the same destination as your fellow novitiates, it does travel in the same general direction. As you begin to perform the duties of the Cathedral of Akatosh, you must ask yourself how you wish to revere the dragon god of time. Will you spread the word of the dragon god through prayer and guidance, leading worshippers through their devotions and hearing their pleas? Or will you take to the pulpit and the street with holy texts in hand, speaking the truths of the divines to those who require a rekindling of the fires of faith? After you complete your initiations, you will be asked to make that choice, to take up the mantle of chanter or sermonizer. Reflect on your decision carefully, for the demands of each branch in the path are very different. Remember that the primate oversees all aspects of Akatosh worship in the cathedral, supported equally by the Grand Chanter and the Grand Sermonizer. For this reason, chanters and sermonizers stand shoulder to shoulder, bringing the light of Akatosh to the masses in equal but different ways. As a chanter, you will follow the lead of the Grand Chanter, offering compassion and guidance to those who come to our cathedral in need. You will learn to mend their bodies, minds, and spirits with prayer and wisdom, as well as become a teacher yourself, leading worshippers through their offerings and rituals so that they can grow closer to Akatosh. As a sermonizer, you will muster behind the Grand Sermonizer, armoring your conviction against the great enemies of heresy and infidelity to guide the lost and faithless back to the protective wings of the Dragon God. You will learn to wield words that will strike at the heart, purging the impurities of dark influence and self-indulgence. The wicked must be chastised and condemned before they can be redeemed, and it is you who will drive out their darkness. Do not mistake this division of duties for a lack of unity and purpose. We are guided by the primate, who has the wisdom to see that both paths are equally important to the reverence of Akatosh. The primate is the guiding light of our cathedral, improving the lives of all who look upon its shining brilliance. The primate, like Akatosh, will never lead you astray. And if a different task calls to you, one of military service and the need to safeguard the faithful, consider pledging yourself to the Order of the Hour. Keeping the cathedral and the faithful of Akatosh safe from the dangers of the world is a noble calling. Should the more spiritual nature in life and the cathedral seem like too mundane a method to show your devotion to the Dragon God of Time, these paths stand before you, novitiate. May Akatosh guide you to your ultimate destination. The Primate, Before the Light, by Meridia Salviticus, historian, University of Gwilym. No one in Kvatch, the Gold Coast, or the shattered remains of the Empire demonstrates more devotion and piety than Artorius Ponticus, the Primate of Akatosh, and he'll be the first to point this out to you if you aren't savvy enough to see the holy truth for yourself. But how did so humble an individual achieve such an august position in the religious hierarchy? For that tale, we need to go back to where Artorius has turned to Akatosh for guidance and strength, on the streets of the Imperial City in 2E 542. The fourth son in the wealthy Ancris family, Artorius grew up without a clear place in the world. His eldest brother was being groomed to take control of the family's major holdings throughout the core of the Empire, while the brother that was next in line was being trained to care for the family's distant holdings in Hammerfell. The third son, Angelus, was already a young officer in the Imperial Legion with a promising military career ahead of him. By tradition, that left a life in service to the Divines as the natural path for Artorius to follow. Unfortunately, young Artorius was about as spiritual and devout as the proverbial lusty Argonian maid of song and legend. He wanted nothing to do with prayer and sacrifice. Instead, young Artorius found himself drawn to two dangerous preoccupations. First, he was fascinated with events happening in the Breton kingdoms, specifically the ongoing battles between Emeric of Wayrest and Dorkarac of the Reach. He scoured Imperial City for anyone who could tell him more about what was happening there, and usually found them in the most unsavory sections in the city. Second, he started to run with employees of the notorious crime boss, Vadontius Monrius, much to the chagrin of his father and older brothers, and it wasn't long before he was carrying messages and taking on other errands for Vadonius and his lieutenants. Never one to miss an opportunity to teach a lesson, Primate Artorius speaks candidly about this dark time in his past. "I was full of fury and vinegar back then," he says with a laugh when I interviewed him while researching this book. "I was angry and without direction, looking for something, but I didn't know what it was. That's a recipe for either finding your passion or losing your way. Lucky for me, Akatosh had a plan. That plan, the primate believes, began on a day much like most during that period of young Artorius' life. He started his rounds for the crime boss, collecting gold from the various merchants and artisans working in and around the market district. The daily tithe was something of a sacred ritual for both those who were forced to pay the price and those who gathered the gold that filled Vodonis' coffers. Artorius was just one of a dozen young men and women who did odd jobs for the crime boss and his lieutenants, but he relished his role and the excitement that accompanied it. At least, he did until the inevitable occurred. When Artorius entered the shop of the Khajiit baker, Sticky Paws, he found more waiting for him than the gold he expected to collect for Fedontius' daily tithe. 4 officers of the city's guard were on hand, ready to arrest the young noble and end his recently started life of crime. "Your father is greatly disappointed in you, Artorius," the guard captain said. "You've broken the laws of the Empire. If that gold in your pouch is any indication, you haven't left us with many options." At that moment, when he should have been frightened and anxious, Artorius could only manage to conjure up a single emotion. He hated his father with an intensity that burned as hot as Sticky Paws' ovens. The officer of the guard explained that they could bring the full weight of the law down on Artorius and toss him in a dungeon cell for a year and a day, or they could come up with a way for him to make amends for the crimes he had committed. But Artorius could barely hear over the pounding of his own blood. "As a favor to your father," the officer decided, "we'll go with the latter. A year with the priests of the Divines should help set you back on the straight and narrow." And just like that, Artorius found himself back in the grasp of a destiny he had tried so hard to avoid. He was sent to perform penance with the priests of the Temple of the Divines. Huh. I don't think I've ever gone into the Kvatch arena. And I am not likely to, considering how badly the other world boss beat me. Okay. Here is my... Here's my contract. Standing right next to a guard. Uh-oh. I will now be killed on sight. Uh-oh. Let's see. Leniency.
Face my better nature.
Can't do that while in combat. Alrighty. Alright, tell you what. I'm gonna ask for clemency. Nope, they're gonna kill Sharp instead. Okay. Sorry. I'm running. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I hate these quest lines. Run. It's forgiven.
Akatosh bless you, outsider. What brings you to our humble town?
I've come to spread the word of true power, the word of Boethia. Let me tell you about it.
I won't listen to the lies of a Daedra worshipper. I'll summon the Grand Chanter. He'll deal with you.
Lord Akatosh, the dragon god of time, brings fire in the cold of night and light in the depths of darkness. There's room for you in the Society of the Dragon. All you have to do is say the word.
The word is Boethia. As in, Boethia is better than Akatosh and the other divines combined.
That's enough blasphemy out of you for one day. The Grand Chanter wants to have a word with you. Your foul words have consequences, heretic. The Grand Chanter has ordered you to appear before him.
Is there a problem?
Problem? Yes, there is a problem. You're preaching Boethia's lies to the faithful initiates of the Society of the Dragon. The Grand Chanter won't stand for that, and neither will I. He orders you to appear before him in the Chamber of Penance.
Why does the Grand Chanter fear the words of Boethia?
The Grand Chanter fears nothing, least of all a pathetic Daedra who pales in comparison to the mighty dragon god. Now go see the Grand Chanter and face your judgment, or I'll gut you here and now.
Wait to be judged. Can we hear this
Lieutenant,
along?
how has this heretic transgressed against the dragon
By
god?
spreading the word of Boethia to the initiates.
There is only one punishment for blasphemy. Behead them.
What? Isn't that a little extreme?
You dare question the will of Akatosh?
It doesn't say anything about beheadings in the Book of Akatosh.
Silence, initiate. Lieutenant, deliver Akatosh's justice.
Is this the life you hoped for, Jocelyn?
Larissa! I should have known. I'm leaving.
I like the sound of that. Time to go. I appreciate you not slaughtering everyone in there. A holy bloodbath wouldn't have served us any better than you getting your head chopped off. Unfortunately, Jocelyn is as slippery as I am. She snuck away before we had a chance to talk.
So all that was for nothing?
Quite the opposite. Jocelyn fled with us, which means we gave her plenty to think about. I'd guess she's gone to one of the old Akatosh shrines along Varen's wall. Let's split up. If you find her first, politely ask her to wait for me to arrive. Remember, check the shrines along Varen's wall, and do try to keep the mayhem and slaughter to a minimum.
Cracking heads.
What?
Mounts of Tamriel, Volume 4, Big Cats. By Fadis Falto. I cannot stand cats. Not Khajiit, mind you. I have many friends in academia throughout elsewhere. But actual cats. From big-eared mousers to the great Senche lions prowling the savannah of Reaper's March. Their silent stares are judgmental, their demeanor arrogant, even their language yawns. Even their languorous yawns imply a certain boredom with life that I find distasteful. Imagine then what it was like for me to ride firsthand on one of the great tamed beasts from the Colovian hills and find the experience emotionally moving. The nimble path the beast picked out as we scaled a hill, its powerful muscles moving beneath its beautiful coat. I would be a poor researcher indeed if I did not admit that I could be mistaken, that new experiences cannot shift my thinking. Perhaps the brave souls that husband these great beasts know what they're about. I still wholeheartedly believe every cat I meet is silently planning how to make a meal of me. Okay, Sweet Roll Killer will start here, but it's not available yet, alas. Finish up Crafty Larissa's quest and hand in the...
Only the finest merchandise. Here.
And in the Assassin's Guild quest.
Here.
Okay.
You asked for it.
Well met, Pilgrim. Have you come to pray?
I'm looking for an initiate in the Society of the Dragon, a young woman with brown hair.
Best keep looking, then. I've been out here most of the day, but you're the first soul I've seen. So many in Kvatch have forgotten the old ways. They're all obsessed with their giant cathedral. They've forgotten how we used to worship. Shame that.
You could brew something nice with that.
Do you make a habit of accosting strangers at shrines of worship?
I'm looking for a woman with brown hair. She's part of the Society of the Dragon.
Those zealots are the worst thing to happen to Kvatch in 60 years, and I've lived through 8 wars and the corrupt reign of the Longhouse Emperors. If you're looking for more of their kind, inquire in Kvatch rather than bothering pious folk.
By pious, you mean obnoxious. I'm sure Akatosh would like you to be helpful. Jerk.
I knew I would find you here, blasphemer! Die!
What? Oh, hey. I get to kill you. That's awesome. Why
Wasn't
would
going to end any other way.
Why would you know I was dying? Who was going to be there? I was a worshiper of Boethia. Wouldn't you find me at a Boethia thing? You know? Killing other Boethians like they do?
You're working for my sister, right? How did you find me? No, never mind. Just tell me if you're here to talk or to kill me.
Why would you think I'm here to kill you?
Oh, just those little things I noticed. Like that cold look in your eyes. Or your rants about the splendor of Boethia. Isn't killing what a disciple of the warrior prince does best?
I'm just trying to help. Speaking of which...
Yeah, about that. I'm done with the Society of the Dragon. Turns out religion doesn't really agree with the women in my family. Especially not a crazy cult with a murderous priest for a leader.
How did you get drawn into the Grand Chanter's cult?
Now you're starting to really curl my spine. I could ask you the same. Just what were you doing spouting that Boethia nonsense in Kvatch? Are you some sort of Daedra out to prove a point? Are you Sheogorath?
I gotta. Yes, I'm Sheogorath. You discovered my clever ploy.
That was unconvincing. Who taught you how to lie? Besides,
It's a joke.
even Sheogorath has too much self-respect to be involved with this family drama.
No, he really doesn't.
Oh look, my sister's coming. What a surprise. I suppose I should put my knives away now.
Knives? What knives?
Jocelyn, could you be any more predictable?
My dear sister, I knew you'd find me. Are you here to kill me too?
Can't you guys, I mean, like, talk to each other? Ugh.
My sister appears to be safe and sound. She's surprisingly calm, even if she's still mad about what I did to her friend. That's better than I expected.
Why did you tell
Thank
her
you
that
for
you
your
did
help.
it?
I couldn't have exposed Grand Chanter Surus's corruption without you.
Yeah, Larissa, by the way, why do you kill a friend and be like, by the way, I killed your friend? Why, I mean, you're supposed to be crafty. Anyway, is there anything else I can do to help?
That's sweet, but you've already done more than enough. You helped me show my sister the truth about the Society of the Dragon. She's safe now, and our plan worked exactly as I'd hoped. I couldn't have saved Jocelyn without your help. Thank you.
Every time you help me, someone winds up dead. Couldn't you let me deal with this myself?
I didn't like the way we left things, Jocelyn. And when I realized what the Grand Chanter was up to...
So my big sister sails in to rescue me. Again, tell me, how many did the Grand Chanter kill?
At least 3 people since I've been paying attention. I haven't been in town that long.
So you called in Sheogorath over there?
I know you're angry, but he really would have killed you, Jocelyn. I couldn't let that happen.
You don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm done with the Society, and I'm done with Kvatch. But I am not going with you.
Fair enough. But anytime you need me, I'll be there.
I know. Goodbye, sister.
Fare thee well, ladies.
I'm with you.
I'll leave a little cheese as an offering. Okay. I want to go there. That is about as well as Sheogorath treats his family.
You're back, I see. How could I not? You're standing in my light. So tell me, how did you do?
I completed my first contract.
Well, good for you. But don't get too full of your accomplishments just yet. That was a fairly easy contract I started you with. Come back when you're ready for more. If the Speaker or the Matron give an order, though, that takes priority.
Okay, so now Marked for Death, which is the daily quest, is available, but there's I can advance in story quest, which is what I'm going to do. 30th contract. Oh. Okay, so I said I did 2 million, but it looks like it's only 30. Did 30 murder contracts for the Marked for Death tome. Now keep in mind that's a month straight. Initiate, a situation is developed in Kvatch that requires our immediate attention. Find me in the sanctuary and I'll provide additional instructions. Okay, so right now my skill is probably what, 1 or 2? Yeah, I'm at 2. I don't really need... Oh, hold on. I could probably take some craft points out. Probably done tinkering with my gear. So, Dark Brotherhood. Scales of pitiless justice, bounty, and heat resulting from witnessed murder is reduced by 20%. Certainly use that. Because I suck at this. I do not have the patience for this sort of crime. I'm not interested in other people's pain, and I just want to get on with it. So, yeah. Oh, bats. Hey, guys. Well, they look happy. Look, they're talking. They're gossiping about us. And I think that's neat.
Is at it again, matron.
Those loudmouth fanatics! It's time to teach them a lesson about the blessings of silence!
Enough. I'll decide how we respond to these malign sermons. Initiate, I have a task for you. Once again, the pious idiots of Kvatch dare to provoke the anger of the Dark Brotherhood. Such an insult cannot be allowed to stand unchallenged.
What's going on in Kvatch?
As if the Grand Sermonizer didn't have enough vices to rage about. Now she's preaching against the Brotherhood. She says we are weak, powerless. A toothless dragon that inspires ridicule instead of fear. These lies must be silenced. Permanently.
Honestly, I would keep them because it helps people underestimate you and you wouldn't be suspected because you're incompetent idiots. So, I mean, come on. Subterfuge, lies, let your enemy lie about you. That would be great. You guys should be like, fantastic. But you're not. I can go to Kvatch. I know where it is.
Be wary. The Order of the Hour has increased its presence in Kvatch. Avoid the warrior priests if you can. Meet up with Tannic and silence the priests that speak against us, including the Grand Sermonizer. That will put the fear of Sithis in them.
I'll go to Kvatch right away.
Tannic will meet you in Kvatch. I expect the two of you to deal with the Grand Sermonizer and show the people of that hypocritical city the real power of the Dark Brotherhood.
Boy, she takes herself way too seriously. Tell me more about the mission.
The Grand Sermonizer and her priests spread lies about the Brotherhood for reasons I do not yet understand. Whether she seeks to insult us or acts upon some misguided tenet of faith, our response is clear. These impudent priests must die.
I, if I were the leader, would be like, trap, end. It's actually working for us. Never stop your enemy from making a mistake. Anyway, who's the Grand Sermonizer?
She's one of the ranking priests at the Cathedral of Kvatch, right below Primate Artorius in the hierarchy. She won't be easy to find, however. Killing her subordinates may draw her out. Otherwise, rely on Tannic to locate the hole she's hiding in.
Who's Primate Artorius?
Primate Artorius leads the Cathedral of Kvatch in Kvatch. The chanters and sermonizers bow to his authority as the chosen of the Dragon God, and even the Order of the Hour follows his commands. Pious and faithful, I find the man to be insufferable.
Do we really need to send 2 assassins to Kvatch?
Caution becomes the appropriate response after the deaths of 2 assassins, Initiate. But make no mistake, I expect you to assassinate the Grand Sermonizer. Tannic will be there to provide assistance, nothing more.
Do assassins often die when they go on missions?
Under normal circumstances, no. These recent attacks against us, however, have made circumstances far from normal. Concentrate on the Grand Sermonizer. That's your primary mission.
What's the Brotherhood's reputation like these days?
The common folk fear us. The political leaders tolerate us. And everyone who needs someone dead and can pay the cost hires us without hesitation. Our reputation remains strong. But these attacks by the sermonizers, they're obviously up to something.
What do you think they're planning?
It could be anything. Certainly Primate Artorius and his priests have little love for the Brotherhood. I wonder, does the Cathedral plan to outlaw the Black Sacrament? Would they dare such an action? Regardless, these sermons are bad for business.
Initiate, I have my own contract in Kvatch. I'll join you in Tannic as soon as I'm finished.
3 blades on the same contract? Is that wise, matron?
Just make sure the Grand Sermonizer dies, Initiate. That's my chief concern.
Alright. I actually think this sanctuary is cool. So we will overlook our lovely mushroom gardens and the banners and the fire. It's a nice spot. I'll move over so my little eye can see. I mean, really, what else are they going to do other than see things? Happy Mayhem. Hail Sithis. Thank you for joining me.